every brother was caught in the crossfire. Was caught in the crossfire.
Without mercy.
Alright, how's it going guys? Alninio here, and this is just to showcase how to jungle clear with Warwick from level 1, you know, just the standard jungle route that you should take on Warwick for both teams. So we got red side and blue side. We're going to be doing for both. And firstly, when you're on the blue side, so there you are, you're jungle, okay, right here. So you're walking, then you go here. You firstly do a red buff, that's first. You go over here, do raptors. Now keep in mind, at this point, you want level 2. So you get level 2 from red buff. Smiteless, you don't have to smite red buff. You should smite the raptors, because you receive a lot of damage from raptors. And smiting the big one is really useful. You could even start raptors first if you want and then go red buff, but the reason I start red buff first is because it's like on the go. It's like you do it and then go up and then up. But see, if I start here, I do raptors, I have to go down and then go back up. So it's like, I know it's like not a big difference, but it actually makes a difference because it slows your jungle speed. You know, the enemy jungler might already be like clearing real fast, so you want to be quick. So that's why I go like, I'm on the go, like red, race, and I quickly keep going up. Like, you know, you guys see what I mean? It's like you're not slowing yourself, you're not slowing your jungle clear in terms of movement. So you do 1, and then you do 2. Next up, you go over here. You don't go down to raptors, because that will just slow you down so much. Like walking from here to here or here to here is just, it takes a lot of time. So you want the jungle clear speed quickly. So 1, 2, you go over here, do wolves, so that's 3. Then you walk here, do blue buff, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4th thing that you do. After that, I would suggest you walk here and do the crab. After that, I would suggest you walk here and ward the raptors. See if he has warded. At this stage of the game, you have to sort of anticipate where the jungler might be. Like, let's say now the enemy jungler, just showed up top lane to gank, right? He just showed up top lane to gank. You notice, okay, at this point, you press tab and you see how much CS the enemy jungler has. So then you have an idea of how many jungle clamps he cleared. So let's say he just took blue buff. Okay, he took blue buff, he did wolves. After that, let's say he did blue, grump, and wolves. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then he walked here, and then he did this. Red buff. So that's 6 CS. And then he walked top lane to gank top lane. So at this point, you know, if he has like 6 CS at this point, you know that he took this route. There's no way that any jungler would just do 6 raptors right at the beginning. Right? He can't just do 6 raptors and then gank, because he'll only be level 2. This is the standard jungle route that he would take. So you know he has 6 CS. You know his raptors are up, because he wouldn't take raptors. So you go in, take raptors. Keep in mind, raptors grant you the most amount of XP, which is phenomenal. So if you counter jungle with Warwick, it's so good. Just you have to be careful from the enemy mid laner. Like, Warwick is so good at sustaining. You're going to have health. The crab also gives you back health. So you're not gonna be low HP at all. You're Warwick. You're going to be full HP almost. Like, it's insane. And you also got blue buff, so you don't have to worry about mana at this point. So you could just walk in here, take his raptor, steal, and then back out. Free XP. You stole his jungle camp, and you're in a good state. At this point in the game, try to look for ganks if you can find any ganks at this stage. If you can't, just keep farming, go back to Grump, finish Grump. You have to, basically your mission is to get enough money for Tiamat. That's your mission. And once you get that, you're good to go. Because Tiamat allows you to basically, if you're like, for example, if you're doing raptors and you have Tiamat, you are able to just basic attack, Tiamat, basic attack, Q. Okay, to get back to life. Only Q the jungle camps when you are low. Or when you're like, you dropped some health. You don't have to be low. You just have to have dropped some health, okay? So you want to do it that way. And Tiamat every time you basic attack, it does that AoE thing, and you need that AoE thing to jungle clear a lot faster, and that's essentially what you need. You need that faster jungle clear, because you want to get ahead in terms of level of the enemy jungler. So time mat is just so good on Warwick, you absolutely should buy it. So now, let's say you recalled, okay? Now you recalled, you got your time mat. The next thing you do is walk here all the way to Dragon. At this point you're level 4, if depending on how many jungle camps you cleared. At this point you are level 4. Once you are here, there is a plant. So you hit that plant and reveal Dragon, just to make sure that the enemy jungler is not around this area. Okay? At the same time, you are also dewarding any wards that were put into Dragon, so you have that knowledge. So at this point, you can just walk here and solo it. And yes, Warwick can absolutely solo Dragon by himself at level 4, thanks to his passive. The lower he gets, the more his lifesteal triples at low HP. Furthermore, your Q also gives you back lifesteal, so you're gonna be good. The worst thing that can happen here is your mid laner loses, and the enemy mid laner already took down, like, let's say half HP of the turret, and your mid laner is dead. Okay, let's say he's just dead. It's about choosing the time. If you see the enemy mid laner is here in mid lane, and you just walk towards Dragon to try to do it, the worst case scenario, this mid laner is like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna roam bot lane and gank bot lane. And as he's walking here, oh shit, look at that, there's a Warwick jungle taking my Dragon, and boom, he attacks you as you're doing Dragon. That would be like the worst case scenario, so you have to keep your eyes open and be aware of that. That's very important. Furthermore, let's say if the jungler is top lane and you walk to Dragon, that's like a free Dragon for you right there, because he's all the way top lane. He's not gonna walk all the way down here, it's impossible. He's a top lane, he's ganking, he has no clue. So at this point you do Dragon. Keep in mind, since you planted it, you are guaranteed that there is no vision on Dragon. Absolutely guaranteed. Also, if the enemy has crab here, they already took the crab, do not do Dragon. Do it at a later point, because crab will reveal you, and that's gonna suck. People are just gonna start collapsing on you. It takes some time to do the Dragon at level 4, just a little bit of time, but Warwick is so good at doing it, like, you have no problem. If you can get a free Dragon this early on, that's absolutely amazing. You absolutely want to do that. So, once you get Dragon, at this point, whatever it is, Infernal first Dragon is amazing. At this point, you can start looking for other ganks, or just keep doing your thing as a jungler. That's just your starting route to how to begin the jungling as Warwick. So this is actually the first steps, and he's such a solid champion at taking Dragon that you should most of the time try to do it at level 4. You just have to be aware where the enemy jungler is. If he shows up here and sees you, that's gonna suck. If the mid laner roams as well, sees you, that's gonna suck. So make sure you hit that plant over here to reveal it, to make sure that this area is clear. That's really it for jungling. The same thing that you do on the enemy team. So on the red side, sorry, not the enemy team. So let's say you are on red side and you start jungle. Your first jungle clear on red side is blue buff. So that's 1, right? So you do blue buff, smiteless. 2, you do grump, go over here. 3, so you do the wolves. 3, then you walk over here, do red buff. That's the 4th camp that you take. Go raptors, make sure to use E here to reduce damage, so that's your 5th camp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At this point, walk over here, take the crab, and then do your thing. Keep gaining money, try to go for a gank mid lane or top lane if you can. If you can gank here or there. If you can't, you could just go here and farm grump. Try to enter his enemy jungle, ward, see like what he cleared. You can ward grump, see did he clear grump, and if the enemy, same concept as we just explained, if the enemy jungler shows up bot lane or top lane and you see how much CS he has, you have an idea of how much jungle camps he cleared, right? For example, he did red buff 1, that's 6 raptors, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's say he walks top lane with 11 CS. You know that he took this route. You have the knowledge that he did this route, basically. It's just something to keep in mind as a jungler. Everything else applies to the red side, just the standard amount of CS, because most people on the blue side start this side rather than up here. So if they do start here, you will still know. Like, let's say he did the blue Grump 3, so that's 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then with 6 CS he ganks bot lane. You know now that he did this route. You know what I mean? So this is something to be aware of as a jungler. You need to keep in mind of like how much the enemy CS has when he reveals himself, because you cannot see enemy CS when he's not in vision. So keep that in mind. It's very important. That's about it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching this little jungle route guide and implement it into your own games. Keep in mind, this doesn't just apply to Warwick. This applies to all types of junglers and just jungle route clearing just in general. And that's really it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all on the Rift. Peace out.